Okay, so the demonic entity that we know as Bear also used to be known as Jesus Rodriguez, is once again using whatever abilities it has to attack me. Why does it do this? We always say that something that is a bully will only stop if the bully is, well, taken out. In other words, the bully is really looking for someone to bully it back, somebody bigger than the bully. That is what the bully is really looking for. It does enjoy the bullying, but the root of it all, the bully wants to be whacked on the ass or punched in the eye. The bully wants to be the bully named Bear Rodriguez says the bully wants suicide via cop. In other words, the bully is incredibly unhappy internally. And the bully always looks for ways to relieve its suffering. And the way it does it is picking on other people, whichever way it can. How is that relevant to our world in general? In our world in general, we have tremendous amounts of bullying. And we consider most of the bullying to be mm, normal in our world. What do I mean by that? Well, so many different kinds of examples come up for me. Let's begin. The first example is let's have to go to work and do something we don't like to do. Why? Well, because that's the way that our world works. Either you work to make money to pay for the needs of life, or what? Or what? Is it a bullying? Yes, the society bullies you. The society bullies you constantly. Someone is telling you you're lazy if you're not working. You're constantly told you should do this. I saw this other meme was going around last week. It was now that you're on quarantine, you should be working towards getting something else going so that when the quarantine comes off, maybe you need your own home business. Maybe you should be like preparing something. In other words, you need to be busy while you are in quarantine. And I've just been listening to the spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle, who says that this is an amazing thing that the quarantine of the world is giving people who never um, stop being workaholic a forced rest. And he says there's so many people on the planet that need this downtime, forced downtime. And as far as other examples of bullying, well, we have the endless wars that go on. We have endless different versions of what's going on and why it's going on. How are we going to stop the bullying? Well, it seems like the bullies of the world are looking for a new experience. In other words, they've been the bully for a great long time and they're looking for a new experience. Are they bored with bullying? Yes, they're totally bored with their lives. And that's why they continue bullying, because they are trying to get something to change in their life. And by continually bullying and bullying and bullying and bullying and bullying, they're not getting it, apparently, these long term bullies, but they really are desirous of an enormous change. Either some samurai comes along with a sharp sword and chops off their head, or as I said, they get punched in the eye or whacked on the ass or imprisoned. but they're looking for a change. And that's why they're still bullying, because they haven't experienced the change that they are seeking. And for the people who are being bullied by the bully, they're totally sick of being bullied by the bully. Why don't they act? The bully is saying, why don't you defend yourself? Why are you playing Jesus and turning the other cheek? I don't want that response from you. I want to get into a fight with you. Now, my issue with Jesus, the shit demon, is this spirit. It's not in a physical form. So it attacks me through my body. And I don't have a defense against this spirit. You know, some people say, well, call on Jesus or call on the angels or call on some master of voodoo or someone who can break the hex. It's in the end, I don't have anyone that can do these things. I have actually had people offer to do it for money. And I always look at them and I say, you're in the business. You're actually contributing to the problem, because instead of just gifting yourself to others, you have got your hand out. In other words, you really want money. You, the one that breaks the hexes, you want money. And you're putting it out there that I cure hexes. So what happens? Metaphysically, you're putting it out there that hexes need to happen so I can break the hexes and get money. It's very twisted. People's desires. Maybe someone wanted to be a doctor when they were young. Maybe they were playing doctor when they were 4 years old. And they really like seeing people naked. Or they like taking a cold stethoscope and putting it on other people because they know it's uncomfortable. You know these kind of clinical doctors? They have no bedside manner. But this is exactly the way that it works. This was another teaching I was listening to by Dr. David R. Hawkins. He said, somebody was asking him about The Secret. You know, it was an old movie, The Secret, the law of attraction. Abraham Hicks always talks about it. And Dr. Hawkins said, yes, this is actually way older than law of attraction. This is simply what you hold in mind tends to manifest. Dr. Hawkins said, if I hold it in mind that I want to have a nice little cottage out in the woods, then he said, lo and behold, what happened was the realtor called me and they had one of these things available to buy. So if I have it in mind, what do I have in mind day to day? Well, actually, I have inner silence because I've worked a very long time to get rid of thoughts, because thoughts, well, I don't think it was that. The reason that I wanted to go to know mine was I heard the shaman Don Juan Matus in the Carlos Castaneda book say, you need inner silence. And I had a friend of mine who looked at me and saw that I spent an awful lot of time reading newspapers and watching TV news. And I had endless opinions about things. And this friend of mine said, what you need, Bob, is inner silence. And then he bought me a copy of Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now. And it was a great inspiration because it kind of dawned on me from these different things, Don Juan Matus and Eckhart Tolle, that I have got way too much thinking going on here. But after all these years of doing, reading up on these different spiritual authors and gradually getting into meditation, I don't have thoughts inside. Sometimes thoughts are sent to me. But, if I'm left alone at peace, I can go a very long time in meditation without thoughts. But then there's these other spirits that come in, like, I keep talking about, these bullying spirits. And what exactly is it? It's not my attraction, because I simply want to be at peace. Enlightenment. I read Dr. David R. Hawkins, and his books were all about enlightenment. which is going higher and higher on the scale of human consciousness. And when you get to 600 on the scale, 600 is peace. And the shit demon, Jesus Bear, whatever he wants to call himself now, is interrupting me. He always does this when I'm talking. He wanted me to give you this talk, mostly because he's bored. He's bored again and he wants to interrupt. What do you do with a spirit that doesn't really want to do anything except punch you or scratch your skin, give you itch, or grab your arm and shake it? These spirits are not in bodies, as far as I can tell, unless they are astrally projecting themselves at me, which is possible, but I don't know. But, if you're going to use it in your life, I don't know if you've got spirits that are bothering you. I think a lot of times people do get spiritual attacks, psychic attacks. But let's bring it down to something more grounded. Let's talk about other people in your life who are bullies. They never got out of their bullying from when they were a child. Where did they learn bullying? Probably a lot of people learned to be bullied because they were bullied at home. Perhaps by their father, perhaps by their brother. Maybe there was a bully in the neighborhood. Or maybe they were born a bully. And the bullying behavior came from a past life. Somehow, what came through into this incarnation was their bullying disposition from another life, where they never got what they wanted in a past life, and they got reincarnated, and lo and behold, as the child grows, it taps into this field of bullying. So bullying is going to be considered a level of consciousness. And those ideas about how to bully are all, well, basically you can take every kind of idea and either spin it towards being beautiful, or you can make it highly negative and toxic. And these particular personalities, these spirits, have a great preference for toxicity. It seems strange, but that's what my experience is. In the end, I'm still waiting for these spirits to either get what they want, which is somebody to come and bully them to the point where they stop, or I want them deleted from consciousness altogether. So I do have desires regarding this. I don't want to be bullied by unseen characters. I don't want to be bullied by human characters. It's simply what's known as divine discontent. Divine discontent is, I am not content. I could be content if I didn't have these things going on in my life. Some people, a Buddhist teacher that I've been reading about says, whatever is happening to you from the outside is happening to you, but it's how you interpret it that is within your control. So I've been trying that teaching. Just so you know, the shit demons are doing something. They're giving me pain in my hands. They're giving me pain in my hands. He says it's arthritis. I don't think it's arthritis, but it's definitely pain. They know how to inflict pain by remote control. Are they humans? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if they're humans that are astrally projecting to fight me. But I don't astral project. I don't know. I don't know if I know how. I don't consciously know how. And even if I don't know. I don't have a way. So I am the one that is targeted by these things. He's got me off topic, so I'll continue after the break.